Okay, so what we have here is the 16 bar harmonic progression that we made in the last video. And what I said we would talk about today is how to make this smooth. Because if you look at this and this, it's quite a big gap. So really, we're trying to avoid that kind of jumpy sound. And the way that we're going to do that is to use a chord inversion. Now, a chord inversion can often be a little bit confusing for people. I'm just going to grab this here and just put it up here to show you what I mean. And I'm putting 3 versions of the same chord. Now, essentially, this is a C major chord because it's got C, E, and G in it. All I'm looking at doing is taking that and putting that. That's still a C, but it's knocked above. Okay, so it's the same chord, but there's a slight difference because the C is at the top. That means that we have a different root, a different note at the bottom. So there's the C at the bottom, but this one's got an E at the bottom. If I grab the C, put that at the top, and then put the E and put that at the top, that makes the G the root of the note. So all 3 are the same chord, but they sound slightly different because they are different inversions of each other. We're taking the lowest note on each one and putting it at the top. We're inverting it. So what we need to do is decide which inversions we want to use for the chords. Well, the idea is to look at the chord that we're starting on. We go, okay, well, we started with this tonic triad here, and we want to keep the notes moving as little as possible. So at the minute, this C here moves to an A. We don't want it to move up to an A when actually there's a C in this chord. We could bring that C down, and in fact we can show that there's a join there. Okay, there's an E in this chord. Okay, well, there's an E in this chord there. If we bring that one down, that join exists. So out of those 2 chords, these 2 notes don't move. Meaning the only note that has to move is the G to the A. And you can see that that move is actually only 1 note above. So now that provides us with a very, very smooth sounding progression. And we're going to do that with all these chords, is to just go through and see what sounds good. So that one, for example, is a jump. So I've got a D, which I'm going to bring down there, and I've got a B, which I'm going to bring down. So the G is the note that actually doesn't move on this occasion. The E moves down to the D 1 step, and the C moves down to the B 1 step. This all looks good. Oh, see, we've got a big jump here. So I'm going to bring the D down because that's the same as that one. The F only moves up 1 note to the G, and the A moves 1 note up to the B, which means that we're going to just change the C here up there. The G is the note that stays the same here. The D moves up 1 note, and the B moves up 1 note. Okay, so if we now listen to this chord sequence, you'll see that it now sounds really smooth. Don't worry about the bass. The bass is allowed to be jumpy, but chords not so much. Have a listen. Now, if we keep listening now, you'll notice that as we go on to the second 8 bars, which I haven't put in chord inversions, you should notice that sounds more jumpy in comparison. And while that's not offensive to the ears, we do want to deal with that. So I'm just going to quickly now just spend a bit of time sorting out those notes that need to be sorted out. And again, you see there I've moved that so that note doesn't move. It's only the E to the F that moves. The A stays the same. So let's have a listen to the second half of that now. Wonderful. And that really shows how the next thing you need to deal with after you've got your harmonic progression is chord inversions. Make those chords move really smoothly. Thanks for listening and good luck.